I'm just joking, guys. I want to start the show by whispering because apparently if we're loud, we've got opinions, and apparently we'll never find husbands. And I would like to call a book on it, but I'm not going to do that. We're here on Assertiveness, a show that gives ordinary South Africans the space to talk about things that really matter. And today's topic touches me in a very nice way because I am fully in support of this topic, but not what it assumes. Right? I won't even say I've got beautiful ladies today on the show because you guys can see it for yourself. Ooh, muhle ntombazana shati. You? Tololo. Yeah. Oh, okay, I know get chola, so it's maybe. You don't really know. Maybe. Guys, welcome to Assertiveness. As I said, it's a show that gives ordinary South Africans the space to talk about things that really matter. Today we're going to be discussing the loud black woman. That is the negative side of it. The positive side is the independent woman who is making things happen. You know, like we're in industries that, you know, traditionally or in the past, women were not seen as anything. We're seen as just the wife who carries babies for 9 months and then cooks at home, stands on the street corners, discussing other people's business on the road. But we're no longer that kind of a woman. We are now women who are heading up firms. We are CEOs, we're business people, we are leaders in our industry. And for me, it is an amazing thing and I really love it. But then there is a shortfall of it. We apparently now cannot head homes, or not even head homes, maintain, manage, have relationships, families. Do we have time to be pregnant, guys? Yes. To be honest,
not right now.
Not right now.
We schedule it.
We'll schedule it on our diary. Like when people call you, like, sorry, I need to check with my diary.
In 2019, I won't be that busy, so I think we'll meet at 2018.
Okay.
I think though that's another stigma because who says women in power can't fall pregnant? I can do both.
You can do both. Okay, before we get into the conversation, because I see you guys are itching on your chairs to jump right into this, can you guys do a little bit of introduction? I know we've got Miss Sese, who is now becoming furniture on the show. But she's not becoming furniture because she only looks good on the show, because obviously we strive at all accounts to bring good-looking women on the show. Of course. Stop it, you know. We also bring people who we feel have an opinion. Yeah. But maybe that having that opinion is going to render you single for the rest of your life. Yeah. But for those who are watching for the first time, tell us a little bit about yourself. Who is Sese? What does Sese do? Where's Sese from? Who are you raping today?
All right. I'm Sese, as she's mentioned. I work for a very reputable investment company. I do media on the side. I am very vocal. I'm originally very vocal. Very vocal. I'll get into what being vocal means a bit later. Yes. And I come from the Eastern Cape. I've been in Joburg for a while now. And yeah, today I'm repping vocal women.
Awesome. Yes, ma'am. Yellow bone. I'm trying to say in the middle, so it's Kanyisa. Strategically. Awesome.
My name is Menzi Dlamini. I'm a metallurgical engineer. Yeah. I always hate these questions because I feel like I'm in an interview. Hey. So yes.
Interesting. Very interesting.
So once again, another male-dominated field. Yeah. Originally from Swaziland, but raised in Johannesburg, Joburg native. And I'm very loud.
Where in Johannesburg?
Right now Rivonia, but originally like Rand Park. Yeah, so I'm always...
when you're a better black.
Maybe. I don't want to say that, but if you think so.
But it could be. If the shoe fits, why not put it on?
Wear it, yeah.
You know what I mean? And strut it. No, not just wear it. We strut, NJ. Yo, Miss Yaya on fire. Hey, Yaya on fire.
Wow.
Are you on fire, Yaya?
Always. Even the name says it.
Always on fire.
Standard. But it's still loud,
Papa, man, Ayanda, man. Oh, Papa.
Because I'm an independent woman.
Yes, girl. Tell us about Ayanda. We are Ayanda.
I'm Yeezy on Feezy.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm a singer, songwriter, vocalist.
Yes. Vocalist.
Vocal.
Yes.
And a brand ambassador. I spent my life actually
a long time working in TV, and now I'm getting into the whole music thing full time. Nisazongizwa.
Sisazokuzwa wena sisi.
Yeah.
Which vocal?
Peli la vocal.
Peli vocalness. Imagine as an artist, will you be called Yeezy on Feezy or?
Well, the standard is Yaya on fire, yes. But I'm getting a tag Yizzle on fizzle manizzle.
Wow.
Jesus on feezes.
Okay, guys, let's dive right into it. I think this conversation, we only have 40 minutes, but I think we would speak the whole day, and it's probably going to be extended further than this. We need a bottle of wine. Sikulume about how are we going to strategically sort this situation out, because we can't deny the fact that it is an issue. Yeah. It is an issue, whether it's an empowering issue, whether it is a defeating issue, is that something else that we're going to uncover today. So we're going to walk off here and make sure that the ladies at home who are in the same or similar situation, we need to give them solutions. Yeah. Right? Yes. Awesome. Let's dive right into it. What is a vocal woman?
I think a vocal woman would be an opinionated woman, Okay. I think the biggest misconception right now is the definition of vocal, because people think that being loud is being vocal. Being loud is purely just being loud. Yes. But having an opinion means you're vocal. So to me, I think it's a woman who can raise, her thoughts, her feelings, and just have an opinion on things. So I think we just need to basically address the definition of what being vocal is.
So it's like being an assertive woman.
Yes.
So you guys are an assertive woman. Yes. Oh, you guys are so well placed to be on the show. I think maybe you guys should stick around for other shows. So co-host, man.
I think you finish, Alana. So Nzobuya.
We are born to be assertive. Miss Benzi, to you, what is a vocal woman?
I think it's a woman that's not afraid to speak her mind, and not necessarily afraid of the consequences of that. Obviously you're being respectful, but at the same time you want to get your opinion across, you want to get your thoughts across, and what other people have to say about it is not going to hinder you from doing that.
But respectful.
Be very respectful.
Are we respectful as vocal women?
I think so. I feel like nothing I say is out to hurt anybody, and I wouldn't say anything, let's say, to a man right now just to bring him down or anything like that. I'm just stating my opinion, and I'm allowed an opinion. Yes, I really am. True. So,
Miss Yaya on fire. What is a vocal woman to you?
I think right now, Futi, we're in a good space where at first it was a man's world, and then there came independent womanism. So feminism took shape, and women were out there fighting the man coat, like taking it off, So now we're at a place where we're able to see the downfalls of each system, and we're able to form our own woman fully. Okay, we're not here to break down a man. We're not here to completely challenge him just for the sake of challenging him. We're here because we are able to be involved in conversations, because we have beliefs. We have opinions, where we see how the world is, and we'd like to contribute. And because, Tina, we're not just these task-orientated, left-brain people. We're able to use left, right, we can be creative with solutions and whatnot. We're saying, to use us. We're actually assets to you, So that's what a vocal woman is, and accept it.
Are we saying that the day and age that we're in now allows women to have an opinion?
Yes, it does.
Who doesn't want a woman that challenges him? Yeah. That's another thing. Why would you want a figurehead, a Barbie? Like, no, because that would be so boring.
Easy then to manage.
I think it's also the shift in generation, because now there's a shift in what a submissive woman is. You know what I mean? Because every man is looking for a wife, and part of being a wife is being submissive. So because we're shifting in generation, we're shifting in perception, and we're shifting in behavior, women now have a voice, and men have a hard time receiving the new woman, the new type of submissive woman who has an opinion. So it's not only the definition of vocal, but also the reception of vocal.
So they don't receive it well.
Yes, because it's new to them, you know. Probably people come from a home where the mom doesn't have an opinion, where the father will tell the mom what we're spending it on, where we're going, and simple things like that. So you grew up in a home where the mom is literally just a follower. So now you have a hard time accepting a new woman who owns a company, who will tell you where we're going. Simple things, you know what I mean? So you grew up in a home where there's a framework for a woman. Now you have this loud sese that's going to tell you what's up, and now you can't fit her into this box, and that's difficult to accept her. So that's one of the biggest problems, I think.
And you know, the thing about the submissive manje, we actually choose it. How do we approach submissiveness? You don't get there and be like, okay, no, I am here to respect you, to honor you and all that stuff, but come on.
And you're like, sorry.
You must know, Uguti, you are here with your mental equal. So you can't just come here and emphasize no, I'm here, I'm submissive, be humble and all that stuff. But I need to and I know how I want to approach it, and I'm doing it so that we function as a family in a, you know, a nice little system, framework, you know. So you can't just come here. Back in the day, you weren't there. So why are you going to impose into your ancestor? I doubt you even researched it properly. You can't impose it on me, you know? So we choose our own submissiveness, and we're able to say also, where we apply ourselves, where we put our foot down.
Okay, but what's nice about what's nice about the conversation that we're having is that we as women are not only seen as being vocal in relationships, just in general in careers. You know, how difficult is it for a woman to be vocal in their careers? You know, especially when you're working in a male-dominated career. You know, some of their ideas are so crap. Like you're gonna sit in the meeting and say, really?
And I really don't. In meetings right now, I've been nicknamed the dragon at work because I really don't sit in meetings and like listen.
Must be a dragon.
I'm a dragon, apparently. Like, the thing is, I know I'm good at what I do, and I know it.
Exactly.
So if someone comes to a meeting with an idea that I don't agree with, I can't sit back and cost a project just because I'm going to sit and nod my head like everyone else. So I'm not afraid to give my opinion, and I may come across as a little bit rough, or, you know, in the way that in my delivery. But at the end of the day, it's for the better of the whole company that I say what's on my mind. So.
Are we finding that we have to be rough? Yes, are we finding that we have to be dragons? Yes. Because you start off nice. You speak to people nicely, you know, like, okay guys, no, I don't think that idea is going to work. Nobody hears you. You almost find yourself in a situation with
but also remember, now you're shifting dimensions, because when you talk to someone and you're not being heard and you try and be assertive, that's you being vocal and being assertive. The second you are rude and loud, you are just that, rude and loud. So we shouldn't mix the two, you know? So you having to be put in a position where you actually have to put your point across doesn't mean that you have to be malicious or rude or all those things. So be careful in shifting dimensions as well.
Okay.
Especially in business. You don't want to come across as rough, though. It's not a good look on you. Okay. I mean, I know you want to get your point across, but you have to be as gentle as possible.
Because these men are not used to it.
They're not
at all.
You know what my thing is? Everything that we are functioning in right now was created by men. So government, business and whatnot. We were the homemakers. We were at home when they were drafting constitutions and putting rules in place. So it is a male thought out world that we live in, and we're here building ourselves, showing that we are able to function in it, but we must also bring ourselves to the level of thinking, so that we can, you know, so that we can function with them and I don't know, work. I don't know, I'm losing my words, but what I'm saying is we have to think like men in order to work in the world that we are in. But then women become so rough with it.
They become too dependent on act like a man, think like a man, act like a lady, yeah.
How they say women bosses are stricter, because we want to prove too much, like we can handle ourselves, overcompensate for those roles. And it's not even that, it's that we are in a male-dominated industry or world, and we have to think like them in order to function in the world. And you know, receiving it, as she mentioned earlier, is quite a challenge for people.
Let's go for a quick ad break. When we come back, Miss Sis, I'm going to start with you because I can see you sitting there. You're like, what's in Ayanda manje? Si practicile ngalaphandle sikhulume kahle ukuthi we are taking our own direction. We lahlile Ayanda, like totally. When we come back, let's further discuss what Ayanda is saying, that we have to think like men because they had an opportunity to create the world that we currently live in. But then also I would like us to discuss, move into the topic of especially young black women, are we angry? Are we mad at something? And if we are, what is it that we are mad at? But also just to wrap up the conversation from, you know, what Ayanda was saying, do stay tuned in. It's going to be I feel like it's going to be fire, baptism by fire today on the show. Guys, stay tuned in. We'll be right back. We are talking about vocal women, or rather independent women. I don't want to call it vocal women because I feel like it now sounds like, you know, we are beaten and bashed women and we are trying to be vocal about abuse and lean. No, we're talking about women who can take a stand. Women who are assertive, women who have found their voices within a male-dominated society. And I think that is the last point that we touched on, Ayanda was talking about. Because the world has been created and molded by men, we almost have to think like them. It's like that whole think like a man, walk like a lady, talk like a lady, whatever it is. I mean, we had a brand just a few weeks ago trying to do that. Hey, epic fail, my Georgia, brand fail at its highest peak. But I know that, Sese on fire, Sese, I won't call Sese on fire. Yeah, I was mashed. Sese's about to bring baptism by fire on that comment that Ayanda made.
Even
tell
on
us,
you.
tell
Even on you.
Oh, even on me.
I want to put some fire in me too, because my first comment here was the definition of being vocal. Yes. So you are also contradicting yourself, guys. No, independent women. No, actually, vocal women. We don't know how to define it. Yes. Ayanda said earlier on that we work in a very male-dominated space. I'm a consultant and I work with about 40 men every single day. Okay. I'm the only black female. They're all white, over 50, Afrikaans speaking. So I know what it's like to be in a man's world. So then you said it's almost like you have to think like a man. You have to now act like a man, bring down your level of thinking to the man. Why?
So we will do a rewind. There was no bring down your level.
And we are so beautiful. We are the artists, I'm a victim. Oh, you have to talk
No. So my problem with that is you're not being vocal, you're compensating. You're trying to be the man in order to accommodate the man. So where then is the space for the woman? And the book, act like a lady, think like a man. No, think like a lady. What's wrong with thinking like a lady and thinking like an independent lady, an assertive lady, a vocal lady? So even ourselves, us vocal ladies, we're also contradicting ourselves, and we're not sure what it actually means to be vocal. So I don't agree with that. I'm not going to go into the space that I work with 40 men who are over 50, who are all white, all Afrikaans speaking. Now must I speak Afrikaans to accommodate them? No. Now must I dress a certain way to be conservative? No. What's wrong with thinking like, say, a young black woman?
So what we're saying is, sorry, I just want to interject there. So what we're saying is that these men need to start adapting.
Yes.
Adapt or die.
Yes. And that's the problem they're having, and what we're doing is we're accommodating them.
Yes.
We're not introducing who we are. Yes. We're not introducing who we are and sticking to it. We're chopping and changing who we are in order to accommodate them. That is wrong, because even we're going back on our word now. You know, and that's the biggest problem right now with vocal women.
She's like, Gay, what are you saying when I say?
No. So I'm saying, we women were brought up very motherly, very nurturing and whatnot. So we bring that into the workplace. We bring that into life. I'm not saying we must take it away. I'm saying we must be assertive.
With without it comes back to that thing of don't be rude.
Don't be rude. Yes. Be assertive. Yes. Take away the whole apologetic vibe that women come with. Even in our language, we don't say, I'd like to speak to you. You say,
sorry, can I?
Sorry, can I just want to, baby girl, no. Be assertive, stand your ground, say, hi, I'd like to have a word with you.
Ooh, I've actually had a light bulb moment. I think that men struggle with us being vocal because we're taking roles. And I'll dig deeper into that.
Okay. Yes.
In the relationship, right? You feel like in order for you to be heard or for you to be vocal, you need to take the role of the man. So you put on the pants. Oh. Because being a man, you associate that with being heard. Okay. In the office, you need to address people a certain way, like a man, because then you are heard, your opinion is valued. So you go around chopping and changing and taking roles, and that is what they have a problem with. I think
changing is also. Have you heard that thing, Yaguti? When you get home, take off your work hat. Yeah. You have to get home. Uzitobe now.
For the sake of your husband's ego.
Ego.
No, guys, like, it's not an ego. There's nothing wrong with being umfazi, and there are different attributes.
But what does it mean to be umfazi, Sese? What does it mean to be umfazi? That we're not talking umfazi in 2015. We're not talking umfazi in our mother's times. We're talking Sese as a woman, as let's say Uchurano Tabo, as Tabo's woman. Does that mean that you have to stop being assertive?
No. Well, none of us are actually qualified to answer this question. Yeah. None of us are married.
But Rajola, like no. Yeah, Rajola. Let's say now Rajola, we're in the way she's
Rajola.
Someone hasn't married me yet. Nothing has cock blocker.
Yes. Yeah, it's like now you're seeing him. You need to understand you're seeing.
We're going on dates.
Yeah. We're dating.
Yeah, we're dating.
I can get out of that.
My question is, to what level of Uzitoba? Is Uzitoba meaning that you now lose the assertiveness that you the type of person that you are? Why is it okay when you go out there into the world, you can speak to everybody whichever way you want, but at home, now because I get it, we're saying, don't go out there and be rude.
Yeah. You know what we were talking about earlier, Uguti, we've both been told. Uguti, hey bruh, someone said to me, Uguti, oh, I love your mind. I'm now successful too much. It's like, oh, baby boy, what's what are you saying? And she said she had a similar situation.
Like before I started dating my boyfriend now, I was single for like 3 years. Okay. And my male friends, it's funny, they would always say to me, it's because you're too loud, Minzy, you have too many opinions, you're too independent. Like they would always say that's the reason why I've stayed single as long as I have. And I'm like, why do I have to change myself in order to find a man? Why is that the biggest thing?
Ching chong cha. Okay. Let's go. Ching chong cha. I win.
Okay.
So, the funny thing though is that men love me for my mind. I actually attract the kind of man that wants a vocal woman, an independent woman, an outspoken woman. So I don't have a problem when it comes to attracting men and having them stick around because I'm loud. I actually love that because it gives me a challenge.
Do they stick around?
They do stick around.
Because I'm in a similar situation as you. I find that attracting the man is easy. That's the easy part of it. He loves it, and he'll say when you first meet him, oh, I love the way you are. I love your ambition. I love your drive. Then we're now in a relationship, and now I'm telling him where he's now wrong. I'm saying to him, but it's easy to everybody else Gabi, but I mean,
baby, I didn't like that.
And if some men can't handle that.
But immature men can't handle that.
Even mature men,
they like it from a distance. Yeah. The whole independent, they like it. That's why independent women end up being side chicks most of the time. Because no, I'm telling you, the girls that are being wifed, it's like, ooh, baby girl, quiet, who's like shy, But they really want to hang out with us for our minds. But because we gave the challenge, it's just like,
we're attractive, but not to keep.
Yeah, toilets are food. Pumendin is in routine. Pumendin is in routine. That time drink manje toilets.
No, I think the problem is the challenge is nice. You like a woman that you can go back and forth with, but I don't think you want to fight over everything. Not fight. I won't use the word fight. You don't want to have to you argue over everything. Like, you don't want to have to compete over everything.
Yeah.
Not everything should be a challenge, and that's where you lose them. I think that, okay, cooking, which is one of the biggest points of contention in my relationship, is
You don't cook.
She can't cook.
no. It's not that I can't cook. I don't need to cook.
You don't need to cook.
I'm always on a diet, so so I don't have to learn how to cook.
But the person you live with must eat more.
I don't live with him, so. But also, when I do live with him, what was he eating before me?
Hey,
What were you doing before me? You know.
I hear what you say. I always say I want to cook because I want to cook.
Yes.
Not because you are telling me I must cook.
It's not my job.
Yeah.
And because you're saying that, it's like, oh, was too much. In the was English and independent. What do you want to cook?
Too much, Nicolette, man.
But like in a house, like, okay, what I picture a modern marriage to be is, we're both working, we're both maybe close to the same level. So when you get home and you're tired, where do I get the energy to make a whole meal? We both went and worked.
Like for me, I think I've mentioned this to you before. You know, I grew up in a home with a mom and dad, and my mom comes home and cooks. You know, so to me that is the role of mfaz, and I actually enjoy it. You know, I look forward to going home and cooking for my man. It's actually one of my hobbies. You know, if he's there.
Is it cooking for your man or cooking?
Cooking for my man.
You enjoy cooking for your man.
The mission she chose.
Yeah.
I enjoy that, you know. So to me,
She's hitting a swalata now.
What's it, baby? Nance.
baby, how was it? Did you enjoy it? You know.
When we are doing your own thing here.
That's the thing.
No, but she's allowed to.
I'm
You're allowed to like it. Just because you choose to be, even if you wanted to be completely submissive and do laundry, clean everything, that is up to you. It's your choice. Yes, doesn't mean you're not a vocal woman. Really.
You won't do it. You know, what I find with a lot of my friends' relationships and some that I've been in, ne, with people that you're on the same level with, guys, ne, same age or whatever, peer group, whatever, ne, because Tina, we are advanced mentally, you know, and we put our foot down and all that stuff. After a while, if he's not gonna say, because he doesn't want to say, you know what, I feel like you challenge me too much, because they're used to the task-oriented way of dealing with life, and Tina, we mental creatures because we're mental, emotional, and all that stuff, you know, so we're strong in that. So that it makes them rebellious. So also because gubangat won a power. So also tata ipower yako away, got the one thing that you can't control, and got the one thing that weakens you. It's like cheating. It's like, oh nigga, no.
It's tough, eh? It's really tough. You see, I want us today to be able to turn this thing around and make it a positive thing. I want us to leave here and say to young girls that are out there to say, being assertive is not a bad thing. It does not mean that you are not good. It's not a swear word. It's not a stigma. It's not a disease. Because I'd like to believe that we can train people to be assertive. But luckily for some of us, we're just born with it. You know, you are born with it.
Our dads make us this way. Our dads make us this way, and then they complain when we...
So I'd like to think that there's a whole lot of positive in being this type of a woman. And I want us, I mean, there are things in your life or occurrences in your life that you have reached where you are because you are this woman. You know, I don't think you can become a metallurgical engineer by being this shy, quiet person, meek person. You know, mediocrity.
You probably could.
You could, but you.
So you see, that's the thing.
I don't want to take away from them. Yeah. They could also do the same thing, maybe not as aggressively, and they could get even further. So you get more bees with honey? What is that? That's the saying?
But that's the thing, though, again.
We don't know those kind of sayings, please. When I could run back rich fella. House Calibala. Now let's go push back rich.
Fundani, I'm from Queenstown and I know that. I'm sorry, Fundani, guys. But that's the thing, though, you know?
I say Fundani, guys.
Fire.
Yes, Fundile when I say Tina.
But that's the thing, though, you know? Goes back to my point. What does it mean to be assertive? Because I'm listening to Menzi and Coco, and Menzi saying meek women can do it too. You know, you're saying you wouldn't be an engineer if you weren't this person. What does it mean?
Look, I don't think you wouldn't be an engineer. I just think there are certain, as she said, she works in a male-dominated place. For her to be able to stamp her ground and say, I'm also an engineer, I'm a woman, yes, but I'm an engineer, you almost have to be an assertive person.
And I see a lot of my colleagues get walked over. Yes, that's what's in the meetings. I see a lot of my female, black, similar age colleagues, and they get walked on every day because they're quiet. And you know, I don't want to be a crusader and speak up for them. It's not my job. It's, I mean, now I look like I'm just looking for wars and every day. Yeah.
You know what I think? Emotional IQ, intelligence. Well, EQ. I know. I was like.
Read some poetry, current affairs, man.
Emotional intelligence is the solution, because you mustn't look at it as how must I act around a man in order to function with a man. He's a human being, so how must I act around another human being in order for us to, you know, work as pieces of a puzzle song, you know?
I just have a point to that. Yeah. How come men don't have to think about this in the boardroom? Because if I act exactly the same way as some of my male colleagues are, I'm a B word now because I'm too much. But do they have to think to cater to other people's emotions and what people are going to say about them when they speak up? Why do we have to?
It's a pity that we don't have a man.
We have to.
It's just that we don't have a man on the panel, because for us, I feel like it would have been great to get their perspective. But you know what? I'm going to run a panel with men. I'm gonna do half. So half of the show we're gonna do men, then half of the show we're gonna do women, and then we're gonna counter the thing. And then a reunion show, yes. Guys, I wanna ask a question. Are we angry? Are we angry? Is it our mothers that are angry that are making us angry? We're gonna take a quick ad break. When we come back, we're going to discuss this thing, because I feel like for me personally, there's a level of anger. And I don't know, and I would like to fix it. You know what I mean? Guys at home, if you are also an angry young black woman, look, it's not like we're saying you are angry, but you know, when you argue, when you're trying to push your opinion, do you get angry quickly because people are not hearing you? Do stay tuned in. When we come back, we're going to ask our panel, and they're going to give us a bit of their life experiences. I think it's time to dive into our life experience now, to tell us where did this thing of being a vocal woman come from, you know? As we say, stay tuned in, we'll be back. We are talking about being a vocal woman. I'm not going to go into the other titles, because Uses has already baptized me with fire to say, no, Nicolette, it's not an independent woman. What is vocal? Let's define vocal. Gosh, Cece.
You want my fire again because you're patronizing me.
You're far from mission. Your fire is not going to reach me, so it's fine. Baptize away.
Fire.
Are we angry as black women? And I'm not going to talk for white women, because I'm not white. And there's no white person sitting here. So we're going to talk about, as black women, are we angry? Why?
Because remember, the country we're in, and the era we're in, and the time we're in, we come from a time where we first had to fight for being black, just to be black. You know, we have equal rights. We've got to say,
we've won that fight.
You know, we haven't.
We haven't won that fight
today.
Okay.
Now we're moving into an era where women are coming up the ranks, you know, and we don't know how to be received. So women feel like they constantly have a point to prove.
So every time we wake up in the morning, we put on our boxing gloves.
I need to go and prove myself.
Before the makeup.
Before the makeup is a boxing glove, boxing face, yonkinto.
Yes, and because the worlds we're in are still very male dominant, we find that you're putting out fires and you're fighting every single day. Because I told you, I'm the only black female under 50, you know what I mean? So every single day I have to go and put up a fight to be heard. So we are angry because sometimes you don't win and you feel like it's an injustice to you because you've got the brains and you've got the input, but then, you know.
So are we not then taking that fight and bringing it back into our relationships? I want to tie it back to what we had said, ufike ekhaya, take off the work hat, uzithobe. Are we not taking that anger?
You know what? Yeah. In terms of bringing that fight back into the relationship, you must remember our anger out of nowhere. It comes from the fact that we are black, we are women, in all that. Né? So if you are dating another black man, now he's got that anger, self. So I mean, we all need counseling. He was not brought. My brother was saying the other day, black people were not, white people were born and were taught to live. Black people were born and were taught to survive. So already now he's got this thing. He's in survival mode. He's living this life, trying to survive, make it, buy his mom a house, this, that, where other races don't experience that. They actually buying him a house as the son, So we've all got this anger. And I think what black people need to do is counseling. We need to go somewhere and talk to someone, work through this anger, because we feel like speaking and all that is a foreign concept for us, and waimeles khulume and whatnot. But we've got deep-rooted issues, not just about the next gender or whatnot. We've got deep-rooted issues about history that we weren't there when it was happening, but we do suffer. So we need to. So all of that, when it comes through a good relationship, on top of it, we are stressed in the relationship. So we're not only fighting about this issue that we have, we're fighting everything. They're fighting me because I'm black. They're fighting me because I'm a woman. You're fighting me because I'm your woman. What must happen?
So who's oppressing us, Menzi? Who's actually oppressing us?
I'm gonna, go against what you guys are saying. And personally, I'm not at all very angry.
You're not a black woman.
I'm not at all angry.
You're not angry. Because I'm like, are you not? Maybe because you're yellow, you think you're not black like us.
As some of my, co-hosts here. But I'm not very angry. I feel like, personally, where I grew up, where I was born in Swaziland, we didn't have apartheid.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a fight necessarily. I'm not going to say we didn't feel some sort of, the impact suppression. And of course we felt, we're in South Africa. We're in South Africa. Yes. So by the time I left Swaziland, we moved here when it was over.
Yeah.
So I don't want to say I've never been confronted with racism, but it's never been directly on me. And at work, career-wise, I feel like now's the best time to be a black female in terms of BEE. Opportunities. I am gold right now.
Okay.
What companies are looking for, especially in my field. So I personally don't have a lot to be angry about. So
let's take away what okay, let's move it away from what Ayanda is saying. She's feeling we were oppressed because psychologically it was apartheid that oppressed us as black people in general in South Africa. Then we moved to now being oppressed by society in general because we are female. Are there none of those kind of issues in because you grew up in South Africa?
I did.
Well, you were born in Swaziland, but you grew up in South Africa.
I did grow up in South Africa.
Yes, you don't feel that.
Like I said, it's never been. You see now, don't start that problem, because this is how I get, people going against me now. But
it's your fight.
It's not. It's not too much of a fight,
Not too much of a fight if you're on the.
No, not that I'm yellow. Nobody says it's a better side of the coin. I never said that. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe I grew up charmed and sheltered. So I just personally don't have a lot to be angry about, and that's okay. It's not that I don't sympathize with people that actually did have to go through a lot of things, but for me, I'm happy as can be.
I have to disagree with Ayanda though. I don't think that black men are in a relationship fighting as much as you are. I think the fight in the relationship is entirely different. Back to my point. They have an idea of what a woman should be, a submissive woman, a woman that cooks. That could be your fight.
That is definitely my fight.
A woman that cooks. So now we're trying to say, listen, we're in the new age now. This is the kind of woman I am. This is the kind of woman we're growing into. And there's a clash between what they expect and what you are and a happy medium. So I think that's the fight that you come back and you fight in relationships to say that, listen, I am not your mom. I'm not...
So you're saying what the actual fight that we are now confronted with as black young women is the fact that we are now having to fight the traditional woman.
Yes.
We're fighting the rules. We're fighting what is expected from us.
Yes.
That's ultimately what our biggest fight is.
Yes.
It's not necessarily that the black thing, the race thing, and being. I think we're saying that people have accepted that we're women.
Yes.
The gender fight is starting to shift a little bit.
I'm saying we are angry, we're justified in our anger. So not specifically
That's
what type of not what type of fights we're fighting. I'm saying we are angry.
Oh, so you're saying in general
we're an angry nation. Yes.
But the fights that we are fighting as young black women,
because I agree with that,
are very different. Because you get home, as you said, we're both tired, we both went to work. Why can't you know?
Why can't you cook? That's our fight. Whereas he wants you to come home and cook. You know, so that's a different fight. And you see, that's the thing. And even at work, I'm not fighting just being black. I've been hired in gold, it's great, you know, but what do you come with? Now I have to fight that fight because they've come up with all these systems and they're working systems and we've hired you now, BE, Sukashile. What do you come with? That's my fight.
Give us something,
you know?
Put something
So,
on the table.
yeah, so I think we're constantly angry as young black women because in the roles that we're placed in by society, and we're constantly trying to have like an identification. We're trying to say that this is who we are, accept us, and you know? So I think that could be our fight.
And then another fight is being conditioned. Like they like to say, even that title, you're the angry black woman, they use that title to regulate you. Immediately when someone says you're an angry black woman, you calm down.
You have to calm down because now you don't want to show yourself as an angry black woman.
When you raise a point, they're like, Abo Miss Independent, now you must calm down. Abo Miss Independent. Vele, nina Abo Miss Independent. That's why ningachu.
Like I'm liquid shaves. I want to go to another club, and then it's like, oh. Hi, Miss Independent.
Independent. So the whole using these titles to like calm us down, regulate us, bring us back to
clutch.
They normalize nonsense. Men use it to normalize nonsense.
To meet their expectations of what we should be.
Because of reception. Because they can't receive us.
Because when they break it down, then they can start molding you into what they want you to be.
Sure. Guys, I don't think we got where we wanted to get today. Yeah, this is definitely not. So we're a reunion show. We're gonna come back, and I think when we do the reunion show, we're gonna add 2 more chairs. We're gonna have 2 men, and they're going to help us, because I feel like there's no point in us discussing this topic without men, especially if they play a role in defining what is a vocal woman or what they receive as a vocal woman. Because I've heard before men will say, it's not that you are loud, it's just some of the things that you say, you know, or the way you say them, you know, Or and then I do find sometimes they tell me, oh, Nicolette, with the car you drive, or Nicolette, the job you have, you're never gonna find a boyfriend. That's, you know, that's
from your own family. You hear that?
Yes. Then yes, because I remember driving home when I bought a car last year. I drove home and I had an uncle who said to me, "This is not a car for a woman." What? Like you can't handle the speed. So
with men who drive better cars.
How about actually, you know? So I do agree with you guys that we need to have a reunion show. We need to come back and discuss this fully and finish it and actually leave here with an outcome. Leave here with a word for young women who are pushing, you know, trying to be independent, trying to be vocal. And we're not saying if you're vocal, you have to be loud and rude and, you know, and brash and crass and crude and, you know, synonyms, guys. Hey, fundile man, fundile skolo ngenile man. But ladies, thank you very much for joining us. You know, it will be great to have you guys back just to finish off this conversation. So I think given the people at home, we're leaving them hanging. Ultimately, it's not a good thing. To conclude, you know, intro, body, conclusion. And I think we haven't reached that conclusion yet. So I would love to have you guys back. Please schedule us in your diaries.
Yes. Just as we schedule our pregnancies, we're going to schedule you.
Meter 2015. Schedule it, guys, and even ready for it. Everybody at home, thank you very much once again for joining us. Have this amazing conversation. But as we say, we do feel that we've left you guys hanging, and we're going to come back to finish off and conclude this conversation. We need to leave here with an outcome. We can't just say, okay, we've now laid out the cards. We know now, we kind of have an idea of where the actual problem lies. We now need to find solutions. And once again, Miss Yaya on fire, Miss Menzi, yes, her name is Menzi, with an E at the end. But she is from Swaziland, so that kind of helps, because if you were South African, we were going to tear you apart with that name. You know, it's like, hey, government name. And Miss Sese. It was lovely, guys. If you are not assertive, you really can't sit with us. Besides, we have 3 chairs here. I'm just saying.